Hi guys, welcome to the channel. This is Perpetuality. You join me in the new year with a new watch. This is the Speedtimer Solar that the internet was raving about, especially in the Panda variant. I wanted to dig deep and find out why. Now, this has the caliber V192 movement that's good for 15 seconds of accuracy, and 6 months of battery life on a full charge, 100-meter water resistance, sapphire crystal, you name it. Let's see if this passes the Ollie test, and then we can continue with the review. She doesn't seem to mind it. Alright, last year I uncovered and reviewed the SBTR Spirit Chrono from Seiko that is a JDM exclusive. I felt like that was a great watch for under $200. This is similar enough that I can compare it to the Speedtimer. Now, what are the differences? The Speedtimer does come on a solid bracelet. In construction, it feels like a much more high quality watch. The heft and feeling of it on the wrist right away tells you that this is a solid piece. At 39 millimeters in diameter and a lug length of 45.5, you can wear this on a wrist as small as 5.8 inches, all the way up to 7 inches no problem. My wrist is about 6.25 inches for your reference, and I think that it is a sweet spot for the smaller and mid-sized wrist for sure, but don't be shy if you have a larger wrist. Now, a word from our sponsor. I want to say a special thank you to Jang Hee for sponsoring this video. Now, as great as it is to create watch content for you guys, it wouldn't be made possible without the help of sponsors for this channel. And so Jang Hee had sent me this watch stand for me to check out. I wanted to share with you guys. It is an interesting way to display and store your watches. It is made out of metal. The base is solid metal with sheepskin leather on top, and it feels very high quality on first impressions. This space gray color with this kind of brown mocha leather is a nice match. Now, you have an arm that you can move and flex, and you can adjust the angle of how you want to display your watch, and the soft leather base at the bottom is perfect for you to store or display a second watch. I think this is a very elegant way to display your watches. If you're interested in this, please check out the link below. Thank you. To fully comprehend this watch and understand why people like it, we have to dig into the reasons why people like chronographs. I think they look good, they look cool. There's an interesting look to the subdials that takes the eye in and gets you to fidget and play around with the pushers. This has the look of that watch that everybody wants, the Rolex Daytona. It even resembles bits of the Heuer Atavia and also the Zenith Chronomaster. With that being said, functionality of the chrono is just like any other chronograph. You've got a push at the top to engage, and you notice how the seconds hand for the chrono beats at 4 Hz. It's smoother than the actual seconds hand of the watch. To reset, you have the lower pusher. The lower pusher can also act as an engagement point to resume where you've last left off since you've stopped the chrono hand. I think that's a cool feature because it allows for you to have continuous chronograph timing uninterrupted. The stopwatch here, just to show you, has the same functionality as the solar quartz movement, though the pushers obviously don't feel as good. You're comparing mechanical to quartz. The overall way that it works with the reset and the start stop, it's all the same here, and you're getting that in this solar quartz movement. That's something I've come to appreciate. Now, I do want to show you a unique feature. There's a battery indicator at 6 o'clock that is built within that 60-minute totalizer. When I hit the reset button right there, it goes back to full to indicate you, F for full of course. The bezel itself is not ceramic, and I'm sorry to disappoint you guys, but it is polished steel. It does feel good, but when you take a look at it on a closer level, there are striations that look like it's brushed. It is polished, but not to a high sheen. It resembles ceramic, but it doesn't quite have that durability of a ceramic bezel. I'm sorry to say that if you're expecting it to have a ceramic bezel, it doesn't. The way the case feels and the thickness of it at 13.3 millimeters, it is a decently sized watch. With that being said, mostly polished finishing around the side of the case. The case shape resembles the 62 MAS actually, with the brushing that's done in a radial finishing at the top, and you've got the H-shaped lugs that come down. This is kind of like a tropic diver case that's been fitted to be a chronograph. I kind of like the look of it. Now, just by operating the crown, you realize that it's not a screw down crown in any measure. The lack of a screw down crown is a bit of a downside here. I wish that the pushers would have them too. There is defined knurling to allow you to get a good purchase on the crown. It is tactile feeling at that. The omission of a screw down crown I understand for the price point here, although the inclusion of it would just elevate it that much more. Having said that, it is easy to operate to adjust the time. It's a good size and it balances out the rest of the case. The construction of the bracelet is simple in design. It is a 3-link design that resembles the Oyster bracelet, from the end link being 20mm, tapering down to an 18. There is good flow on the bracelet, and more on that later. The buckle on the back side of the bracelet is a double button release. It is fairly secure. I don't feel like this will unleash or unlock itself on your wrist. Solid steel in construction, along with the end links being completely solid too. The rest of the bracelet does feel like a high quality piece to me. Again, the laminar flow of this bracelet will lend to its comfort, and the overall consistency of the finish work caught me off guard for a bracelet at this price point. I do wish that there were screw links here for ease of removing the links, but I understand that you can't ask for too much. The clasp itself, I did wish that there were more micro adjustment points to get the fit that you want, but overall, this is a high point for the watch, the bracelet being one of its best features. In fact, I wish that this bracelet was used on more models on the Seiko lineup within this price point. It would make a big difference. Having a solid case back is not a detractor here. There isn't really anything exciting to look at for a solar quartz movement. Your money is going to not the movement, but the construction of the case, the high quality finish work that holds up to Prospex levels, and the sapphire crystal. Altogether, it presents a compelling package if you are looking for a watch that looks the part and feels the part. At the 9 o'clock, you're getting the seconds indicator. At the 6 o'clock, you have the battery indicator and the hour totalizer. And on the right, at 3 o'clock, you have the 24-hour indicator. I think that's a weird inclusion. I wish that Seiko could have used that subdial for something else. But I do understand the limitations of this movement. The dial itself is beautiful. There is a gray textured grain to the dial. It does stand out against that purple hue of the solar panels and the subdials, however. I'm not a big fan of that. The hands are painted stark white, also brushed as well. The indices are actually stamped onto the dial, not applied here. The hands really are quite nice. They have no visible tool marks to indicate that they've been put together quickly. If I could change this dial, I would probably omit the Prospex logo underneath the Seiko stamped logo that you see there, and I would probably get rid of the 24-hour subdial as well. The date wheel is also quite sunken in due to the solar panel having to sit underneath the dial. I do understand that is a limitation, again, of the movement. Do I think this watch is justified for the price tag? The answer is not a resounding yes or no. It depends on the end user. If you enjoy the watch for its looks and you like the construction of the case to the bracelet and the high quality feel of it, you're getting a nice watch. If you just want to dip your feet into a chronograph and see what all the fuss is about, try the Seiko Spirit SBTR series from Japan. You can find them online for $200 to about $270. And I think that the interesting dial colors that they have, from green to glacier blue to black, you've got the panda variants too, they all kind of get you the feel of what a chronograph would be like to own. And on the wrist, they wear just as nice as the Spirit Chrono. Yes, it's lacking the bracelet, but if you get this on a nice leather strap, I think you've got a winner of a watch. If you're interested in checking out this watch, I did a review on it on my channel. I'll leave a link here for you guys to take a look and hopefully get some information out of. Seiko has been doing chronographs and solar chronographs for more than a few decades here. And I do understand that, it is the look of this watch that's really pulling the demand and the attention to it. Everybody loves the way that this watch looks. I think that the subdials can be a little bit closer together, more balanced. I feel like it doesn't have to have the Prospex logo as well. The lume is good. It is the Lumibright that Seiko is well known for. There is decent applications of it, but I think that having it at the 12, 3, 6, and 9 and only the hands is a bit limiting. I wish that the other indices were loomed as well too. This makes it a little bit challenging to read if you're glancing at midnight or just when you wake up to check the time. If you guys like today's content, please like the video and consider subscribing. It would really help the channel out. I will catch you in the next one.